Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It is Marvin speaking. I just want to go through a few points about the watch and my thoughts in the whole scenario. And obviously, it being basically high-end watches being stolen, being criminality gangs actually doing it from the UK and out there as well. Let's get straight into this. But this was Saul calling out, which I know a lot of us have seen it before, but I think it's quite important to go through it again, calling out Rocky and Ayub.
Oh, Saul?
Yo, I'm a mate of Jay Slater. Yo,
Oh, that's not G, good.
I'm a close mate of Jay Slater. You know what happened on that night? You know the fight happened in the nightclubs tonight, and the watch got taken by you and everyone, innit?
You off? Right now.
Yeah. And you told Jay to come to the Airbnb with you, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, bro, you're going like,
Yeah.
okay. So,
Nah, I know that's a fact. I know it for a fact.
alright, man. This guy's gone mad.
What do you mean this guy's gone mad?
Someone took a watch. What are you saying?
Like the same
I'm a
shit.
close mate of Jay, innit? I know why you've been Rocky took a watch. The fight happened.
What happened?
Yeah.
Is it someone, is this the real Saul? Like,
What do you mean? Just a real soul, mate? What do you mean, mate? Search my name up daily.
So that was it. He means Harvey Soul, who's related to Johnny Vegas, i.e. Private Chris P. Oh, also is Tom's mate. Make it make sense. They all know, and it's just a matter of time. Ayub and Rocky are innocent, and Brandon and Tom, another couple, ain't. And this is by Justice Funnel. I'm not too sure about all of that. Harvey Soul is related to Johnny Vegas, i.e. So if Harvey Soul has been out there a few times and he does know Johnny Vegas, but we don't know 100%. It could be Chris P. Basically, that's Johnny Vegas, to be honest with you. It's all a bit bizarre to me, but one thing I do want to discuss at the end of the day, if a watch was stolen, I don't think it had anything to Jay, because one, I don't think he was in a position to take a watch unless it was actually planted on it. We can't write that off, people, because we know that Ayub and Rocky are into watches and they make PP as well. We've seen videos of it from before, and we know that this crime has gone on. I thought Duncan made some good points, and basically sometimes how these gangs front pretty women basically as, I guess, the candy, should I say, to lure these men out to, places where there's not cameras, there's not a lot of people about, maybe the beach, or, off the beaten track, and then they're beaten and robbed. That's happened a lot up there, and I've heard so many stories of young British males and females telling me about situations in Tenerife, but didn't want to actually share this on audio. That's part one, people. Welcome back, people. We're going to move on to TNS Diamonds. He sold a stolen watch. Unfortunately, a situation like this happened. The watch stealing injuries, even after proper precautions are taken. Let's get straight into this. This guy really sums some things up.
A very standard sale. It was a Rolex Explorer 2. I sold it on Corona 24, shipped it to the customer. About a year and a half later, he sent it to Rolex for a routine service. Upon Rolex receiving it, they confiscated the watch and sent him a letter, hey, this watch has been stolen. We're not returning it to you. So naturally, he reached out to me and was like, hey, this watch I bought from you turned out to be stolen and Rolex is not giving it back to me. It's a pretty awful situation to be in, but unfortunately in this industry, it does happen sometimes. So what I had to do is figure out, who did I buy this watch from? So this one turned out to be a watch that we had purchased in our store. And when you sell a watch to us in our store, we have to take your ID, a thumbprint, a picture of you, and we have to report it to an online database. So we went through all those procedures. The watch had no red flags. We sold it, and then lo and behold, we ended up in this type of situation. So I call this customer who I bought the watch from. He answers and I tell him what's going on. From the conversation I had on the phone with him, I could tell he was being truthful. He didn't know that he was in possession of a stolen watch. The issue is he never got an invoice from that person. So he went there, he paid them cash for it, cash and carry, took the watch, and then 4 years later, he came and sold it to us. So in this kind of situation, he's obligated to refund us. Jumping back to the beginning, first thing I had to do was immediately refund the person that we sold the watch to. And then it becomes my responsibility to try to get reimbursed myself. So I reached out to this guy. He turned out to be a nice guy. He wanted to make the situation right. And he actually came in the very next day and paid us back exactly what we paid him for the watch. There could be a situation where someone like that is just like, I'm not going to pay you back. And then we have to take legal matters.
The problem is the ones in Tenerife, I think they're sold under the counter. We've seen it, we've heard it, especially in Tenerife, under the counter where there's not really a receipt, or if you're selling a stolen watch, that's generally kept in that sort of gangland territory of avenue of selling things amongst themselves. Do you know what I mean? If you've got the money and it's proven that watch is original, buy it, cash, and that's all said. Once you've bought that watch is then your problem. And if you need to get it fixed and it's found stolen, and then Rolex or any other company won't give it back because it's registered stolen, then it's down to you. Do you know what I mean? But I think that's the way the system works.
We have to get the police involved and tell them this guy sold a stolen watch, yada yada. But thankfully that wasn't the case in this situation. And unfortunately for him, since he didn't properly document where he bought the watch from, he is the one who ended up getting burned for the $8,000 he paid for the watch. Whenever you buy a watch from someone, whether it has box papers, whether it doesn't, always make sure you get an invoice with the serial number, because if you end up in a situation like that, that simple piece of paper with the serial number properly documented, who you got the watch from, is going to be your only saving grace to getting refunded. And
yeah, sadly, obviously, lots of watches get stolen and they're sold in the black market without receipts. And this causes a problem if you are legit and buy a dud watch. A watch which is, it's got all the markings on it, it's a proper watch, but you get no receipts. There are a lot of people who want a decent watch who are not prepared to pay the money for it and just say, look, it's a stolen watch, and take it. It's sad, the world we live in, but like I said, it can cause a chain reaction like it did for this dealer here. Let me know your thoughts, people. Just a quick article from the Canarian Weekly, and it goes on to say, in Tenerife, there have been several incidents involving the theft of high-end watches. Notably, 4 men were arrested for stealing I think this is what Duncan mentioned, 14,000 watts from a tourist in Playa de las Americas. The National Police have intensified their presence in tourist area during the summer to prevent such an incident. Additionally, Jay Slater's 90-year-old apprentice Bridget was found with a £12,000 Rolex watch he had allegedly stole from a fellow reveller. The police have not confirmed whether they are investigating the theft of the watch, leaving the case open for development. My point in this, why I wanted to bring this up, is because obviously I think it's rife over there. And like I said, I'm just wondering whether some of these hotels booked but not stayed in, are they booked by a gang or someone like Lucy, basically, and not stayed in, or basically booked in a name that nobody else knows and booked with false information? So if they're bringing these people back to close to the club, because we've heard it in the Jay Slater case that, especially on the Lucy side of things and her connections, there were rooms booked, and people mention it, but nobody staying in them. Was it to take basically people back there to be mugged, beat up, left there, and then these gangs run off with, gold, money, wallets, credit cards, watches? Because, like I said, I think it's kind of alarming. I think it's organised crime, to be honest with you, because, like I said, I did hear through a few people sending me a message that there are gangs, UK gangs out there, that the older ones are telling them what to do, basically, whether these youngsters get rugged. They don't know what they're doing. They lose their wallet. They're easy, they're easy to take advantage of. I think these are some of the major problems which go on in Tenerife, and I've heard quite a few stories about it. But that one makes sense to me, in obviously who Lucy is basically connected to, in sort of bringing them back to places that are booked in a false name or something. Get a woman to bring them back to the room. I think it's organised crime, and then there's guys waiting for these guys to be robbed, and that could easily be done. Do you know what I mean? Especially if that guy is trusted in the woman just to take them back to a place which is just off the strip. Let me know your thoughts, people, and don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment. Thank you.